Hey, what's going on, guys? It's K-Dog's Kennel coming at you live on YouTube with another episode of Do You Remember Wrestling's Most Shocking uh, Incidents or anything shocking that happens in wrestling? This is actually a subscriber requested um, topic from Melissa. I didn't forget about you, I promise. Just been a little slow with it, but talking about Jake the Snake Roberts and his departure from WWE in 1992, and then joining the WCW just a couple months later. As all do you remembers, we got to go back to the beginning and how this all started. So it starts with Jake Roberts. When Jake Roberts turned heel in 1991, he immediately entered a very, very personal rivalry with Macho Man Randy Savage. Ended up with the whole snake angle, which that is another really good do you remember I could do, is when Randy Savage got bit by the Cobra. Roberts went into a program with Savage that spanned. They were supposed to captain respective teams at Survivor Series that year, but because of Savage's injuries from the snake, he wasn't allowed, or he wasn't able to participate. So Jack Tunney, who was the on-air president for WCW at the time, removed Roberts as punishment and immediately sanctioned a match because Savage was retired at the time. He lost to the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7, which ended his reign and career as Macho King, and then he turned babyface with the whole Jake the Snake angle. It wound up Roberts would deliver Savage and Elizabeth would get married at SummerSlam, even though they've been married for a couple of years. Angle wise, they did a wedding at SummerSlam. The reception kick-started the feud, whereas Roberts would give Elizabeth a Cobra as a wedding present. So yeah, kind of bounce back and forth there with that. So like I said, when I do these do you remembers, I try to do everything by memory, not by any notes or anything that are in front of me. So. But in any event, they have a match at Tuesday, a pay-per-view that was called This Tuesday in Texas, which Savage won. But the feud kind of went on a little bit longer. Savage was like DDT'd 2 or 3 times after the match, and actually Roberts slapped Elizabeth in the face at that Tuesday in Texas event, prompting the feud to go on. Ultimately, they'd have another match. I think it was like on Prime Time or something of that nature, where Savage would win again. Jake the Snake Roberts would be backstage through the curtain with a steel chair, and he would look into the camera and he's like, whichever one of them, meaning Savage or Elizabeth, the first one that comes back there, they're going to get just obliterated with his chair. It just so happens Elizabeth was the first one back there, and as Roberts goes to swing the chair, the Undertaker of all people, who Roberts had been aligned with, stops the attack. So this would then lead on to Roberts and the Undertaker going into a feud on the Funeral Parlor, where Jake would literally ask the Undertaker, whose side are you on? And the Undertaker would then turn babyface as well by saying, not yours. So that prompts a match between Jake the Snake Roberts and the Undertaker at WrestleMania 8. Now, in the midst of all this, Jake the Snake Roberts he's unhappy, and he basically wants out of his contract, which Vince McMahon's not willing to let him go. So prior to WrestleMania 8, Jake the Snake Roberts holds Vince up, not for more money, but basically threatens, if you do not give me my release, I'm no-showing the match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 8. So Vince kind of gave in, but it turned into what could have been a competitive match. It turned into a squash. The Undertaker pretty much beat the shit out of Jake the entire time. Of course, my favorite part is when the Undertaker tombstones him on the floor, Jake's head comes nowhere near the mat on the outside of the ring. His head clearly hits the Undertaker's thighs, completely protected, but Bobby Heenan's like, oh my God, I think he broke his neck. And so Jake would end up leaving. And then he would debut for WCW on August 2nd, 1992 during a main event taping. And his first target was none other than the WCW champion. Or no, he wasn't I think Simmons was the champion at the time. Yeah, Sting wasn't the champion in 92. Or he lost the title to Vader. in July. So Vader might have still been the champion at the time. But anyway, he targeted Sting, of all people. He targeted Sting. Yeah, because Ron Simmons would win the title from Vader in like October of that year of 92. Because I know Simmons went into Halloween Havoc as the champion. So yeah, okay. Sorry guys, I'm kind of deviating from it, but yeah, I'm trying to get my facts straight here. So throughout the summer, Roberts and Sting are embroiled in this feud. And their feud culminates at Halloween Havoc in a spin the wheel, make the deal match, which basically you spin the wheel, and whatever it's got 13 or 14 of the most brutal match stipulations. Oh, scary. And it lands on, at the event, Sting spins the wheel, and it lands on, of all things, a coal miner's glove match. Give me a freaking break. Which, if you've never seen it, or just, there's only been one that I know of in history. It's kind of like an item on a pole match, except that, the item that's dangling is a coal miner's glove. It's a heavy, heavy glove, mining glove. So Sting and Roberts main event, Halloween Havoc 92, almost a 91, 92. And the match ends, Roberts, or Sting gets the glove. I think Sting gets the glove. Roberts goes to get his Cobra out of the bag. And Sting kidney punches Roberts with the coal miner glove, and the snake bites on this Roberts' face. Sting, with a horrible roll-up or cradle-type move, pins him as this snake is just gnawing on Roberts' face. Cactus Jack comes out after the match to try to get, and like Roberts is trying to peel this snake off of his face. It's like, well, damn, he has a snake bite Randy Savage, and now he's got a snake gnawing on his face. And then that was pretty much the end of Jake. I think Jake might have made a couple more sporadic appearances, and then he was gone. He had a lot of heat with Cowboy Bill Watts, who was actually running things there in WCW. When Jake first signed, Jim Hurd, who was the head honcho there, signed Jake to a lucrative contract. And when Cowboy Bill Watts took over, he took one look at Jake's contract. It was like a 6-figure deal, and ripped it to shreds. It was like, fuck you, you're not worth that kind of money. And so Jake would end up leaving. And Jake, I don't know, it eludes me where he went after, but I mean, he would end up coming back to WWE, and I think it was like late 95 or so. And but yeah, it was shocking to see that, Vince, or that Jake held up Vince, not for money like the Warrior did in 91, but he held him up for his release and was like, dude, you're either going to do this or I'm no show in the biggest event. And then, like I said, I think Jake's run in WCW could have been a lot better. But like I said, Cowboy Bill Watts didn't think he was worth the money that he was promised, and was like, see ya. So, but there you go, guys. Jake the Snake debuting in WCW. Very, not as shocking as some things, but shocking nonetheless. And like I said, I'm more than willing to listen to you guys. I think a key in being successful here on YouTube is to listen to your audience. So, hey, if you've got a shocking idea, keep in mind, I will be doing the Montreal Screwjob and the Benoit family murders later down the road. It's just something I don't want to really deal with right now, because those will be lengthy videos. But anyway, guys, I'm going to come at you guys. A little bit of time left. So I'm going to come at you guys with one more Do You Remember, discussing Rikishi turning heel in 2000, being revealed as the wheelman behind the hit and run at Survivor Series 99. So we're going to do that video. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content, and I will catch you, beautiful souls, in the next video. Take care, guys.